this is pretty much what we're gonna deal with today concerning marriage. Because last couple months, I myself have been dealing with issues concerning marriage. I don't know who else, or if anybody's families have been getting attacked in their marriages. You said everybody? Everybody? Anybody can, you know what I'm saying, attest to that? Going through, problems, whether it be small, big, anything? Yes? Okay. So, because we dealing with the feast, for the people who was on the phone last night, we spoke briefly about it. But we dealing with the feast. What is this feast called? Tabernacles, right? Sukkot. Tabernacles, also booths, right? A tabernacle or a booth is something that you. What do you do with this tabernacle or this booth? You dwell in it, right? Little do we know, or if we haven't realized, if the Father and His Son has set up something for them to be a tabernacle to us, a dwelling place for us, that would mean that the husbands are what? A tabernacle, a dwelling place for your family. That would mean the wife is a what? Tabernacle, a dwelling place for the children. See what I'm saying? So whether we know it or not, we all have to follow after the example of Hamashiach concerning these things. So I brought this little toy just to give y'all an example, right? Can everybody see it?
No.
It's not a Jack in the Box, but just want y'all to keep your eyes on this as I say this stuff, right? Everybody try to get visual, Some people are visual learners, you know what I'm saying? For sure. Okay. So, the biggest tabernacle that we know of, who provided it? The Most High, right? Hit Isaiah, the 40th chapter, and 22nd verse, right quick.
Isaiah
40, 22. We've been talking about this lately, while we just hit it. It's about to show how flat everything is. Let's talk about it.
40 and 22.
Yep.
Isaiah chapter 40 and 22. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretched out the Samaim as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent.
As a what?
As a tent.
What's another word for it? Tabernacle, a booth, right? He spread it out as a tent. Keep going.
To dwell in.
To dwell in. So this right here, this big joint right here, is the Most High's tent that He put over the earth, right? For us to dwell in, right? That means that we got to be on the inside of it, right? Okay. So this is the Father. We dwell in Him and His Son, yes? Who comes under the Father? We gonna put them in the same joint. I ain't have enough blocks for that. The husband, right? What is his job?
Provide and protect.
To provide, to protect, right? Then who's next?
The wife.
What's her job?
To teach and nurture.
I like that word. Nurture, nourish. Be trying to get somebody shot up here. Talking about the cook and clean. I mean, be trying to get somebody killed out here. And who's the last vessel? The children. Now, man, I'm sorry. Now, get Proverbs 22 and 6. The child is that last vessel, right? That boy, man. I hope that didn't get picked up on the camera.
Boy, home one today. Proverbs what?
22 and 6, man.
It's a serious topic.
Yeah, I know.
Proverbs 22 and 6. Train up a child in the way he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it.
So, if we supposed to train up this child, right? Little number one, the child. And the way he shall go, who is the child looking to for guidance?
Mother.
And the father, right? But it's closer to who?
Mother.
The mother. So, if the husband makes the wife feel inferior, makes the wife feel unimportant, makes the wife feel like she means nothing, what is she going to in turn put on her child?
Superiority complex.
Right? So, because this is the closest one to him, and he see his mama being mad, sad, crying, feeling a certain way about the father, what is that going to make the son do? Or the daughter do? Same thing, right? On the outside looking in, and we see the father and the mother going at it all the time. Right? What would this in turn cause the child to do when it grows older? It says, train up a child in the way that he shall go, and he not going to depart. That's not just teaching them the laws. That's everything you do. Feel what I'm saying? And all of this that we do is supposed to be a reflection of what he set up in the first place. So we can see that the order, I mean, just looking at everyday life situations, the order is off. That's why the generation is like how it is today. You know, my Maccabees be hitting me up like, your generation is like this, right? Y'all got the gay rappers and all this and that, right? Well, it was all programming. You know what I'm saying? They saw it from somewhere, from somebody. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wakes up that way. Hey, so we gotta get the balance together, because we gotta be able to bring all of this stuff back into one tabernacle. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a role to play. Everybody. Let's get Colossians 3 and 17. Now, this is going to be a couple parts. We're going to do like 2, maybe 3 parts of this, because you know, it's just a lot of information. And what we're going to deal with first is the husband. Because when I first came into the truth, I don't know if anybody else can, you know, attest to this, but you first come into the truth and you see people that got wives, the first thing that you see is them doing this. You can't do this. You can't do that. You got to be like this. You got to be like that. You know what I'm saying? Hard. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else seen that type of stuff going on? It's on a wide spectrum that this is happening. And we think that this is how the wife is supposed to operate, like this, when that's not the case. You complement each other. You feel what I'm saying? And we lose sight of that. I've lost sight of that. Well, you know, I'm getting back. But because this is what I was taught when I came in. It's how it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be like this on your woman. Like when we did our Day of Atonement lesson, it was, if you point your finger at somebody, what's the natural rule? What do they say? You point one finger at them? 3 pointing back at you. 3 pointing back at you. So if a situation has happened to where, Chris Rock. But you got to always look at yourself and see what you brought to the situation to make it this way or that way. You know what I'm saying? Colossians 3 and 17.
Colossians 3 and 17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of Yahuwah HaMashiach, giving thanks to the Most High the Father by him.
So everything that we do, again, I always start with this. Everything we do, we got to do it in the name of Hamashiach, giving thanks to the Father, right? So when we doing this all the time, we got to be able to look at Hamashiach and see him doing the same thing. Did he? Was he always like this? What was in between that? Love, compassion, leniency, mercy, the whole nine. But again, we lose sight of that. Do you realize that your child and the mother of your children, your wife, your spouse, they have to be able to find Hamashiach inside of you. That's the only way they're going to be able to follow like they're supposed to follow. If they first find him inside of you. But they still got to be willing to do it, right? But they got to find him inside of you. We was made in his image, yes? Right? Let's get Psalms 15. Feast of Tabernacles, right? Psalms 15, and we can pick it up at verse 1. Women, don't think y'all off the hook today, because we're going to, you know what I'm saying? This is what I'm teaching today is reflective of what I had to come to a realization of. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that I'm not the only one that has to deal with this type of thing. You know what I mean? As men, period, we are the guidance. We are the leaders. We are the ones who's supposed to say, hey, let's go here, let's go here. This is going to be best for us. This is going to be best for us. This is what we got to do for this. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not doing it right, it's not going to go right. If you don't have your whole heart in it, it's not going to ever be right. You have to be that safe place. Psalms 15 and 1.
Tehillim of Psalms 15 and 1. Yahuwah, who shall abide in your tabernacle?
That's a big question. Who going to abide in the Most High's tabernacle? We all coming together for the Feast of Tabernacles, right? But how many of us are clean enough or well off, or well enough in this word that we can say that's me? Who gonna dwell in his tabernacle? Because a tent ain't what it is. A lot of people just make this about sleeping in tents. It's the wrong idea. Right? Go ahead.
He that walketh uprightly and worketh righteousness and speaketh the truth in his heart.
Have anybody ever lied to their spouse, significant other, just to save face? You know what I'm saying? Even if it's something small as, are you mad? What's wrong? Nothing. Right? Just to make you feel a type. You can't do that. Read that again. Who gonna make it in?
He that walketh uprightly and worketh righteousness and speaketh the truth in his heart.
This is sometimes he's saying do this. This is all the time. This is how we got to walk, period. Read.
He that backbiteth not with his tongue.
How many of y'all have found yourself talking about your spouse or your mate to other people in a negative way? I mean, y'all ain't got to raise your hand, you know. But you've done it before. Called up your home girl. You called up your home. Man, I can't stand this nigga. They be doing this. And what I've come to realize is you're not doing nothing but making this set into your mind. And now it's going to always be like that. It's going to be hard to shake it because you keep on saying it over and over again. And the worst part about it is you're going to call somebody that's not in the same situation as you. You know what I'm saying? And they give you advice that's not even remotely right. It's not nowhere even in the ballpark. Right? Keep going.
He that backbiteth not with his tongue, nor doeth evil to his neighbor, nor taketh up a reproach against his neighbor, in whose eyes a vile person is contemned, but he honoreth them that fear Yahuwah. He that sweareth to his own hurt, and changeth not.
It says he that honored them that fear Yah. Right? So if your husband is in fear of the Most High, it don't matter what you say or do, you are supposed to honor this man, period. Are we in agreement? Vice versa. If you know your wife fears the Most High, you are to honor this woman, period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Right? Go ahead.
He that putteth not out his money to usury, nor taketh reward against the innocent, he that doeth these things shall never be moved.
So this is just a general statement. These are the things. This is the criteria for you to get into the kingdom. If you're not following after none of these things, you won't make it. If you drop the ball on these things, you won't make it into his tabernacle. I don't care how many Feasts of Tabernacles you keep. I don't care how many Passovers you keep. It won't help you because he gave you an outline of what you're supposed to do. Right? Let's get Hebrews chapter 9 and verse 10. Like I said before, everybody got a role, right? Think of it like a business. The top dog of a business is who? CEO. Who the next in command? Vice President. What? Or the
President and the vice president.
right. So it's always a delegation of jobs, right? So you got the person that's on the top. And in order for the person that's on the top to flourish, the people that's on the bottom got to do the groundwork. They got to put the work in to make the person that's on the top look good. Newsflash. The Most High is on the top. If we claim to be a part of his business, we got to be handling it correctly. Because everything is for his what? Everything is for his glory. Right? Hebrews 9 and 10.
Hebrews chapter 9 and verse 10. Which stood only in meats and drinks and diverse washings and carnal ordinances imposed on them until the time of Reformation. For the Mashiach being come and high priest of good things to come by a greater and more perfect tabernacle.
By a what?
A greater and more perfect tabernacle.
Now he was a greater and more perfect tabernacle, right? Than the one that was built. Yes? So in him we shall feel safely. We're supposed to feel safe in the tabernacle. Matter of fact, if it's danger, what's the first place you gonna go? Say it again. Home. If somebody is outside shooting, where's the first place you gonna go? In the house. It's not that you can't get shot in your house, but you feel more safe in your house, right? This is your tabernacle. This is your home. This is where you feel the most comfortable. Your marriage is supposed to be based on this same principle, right? You're supposed to feel safe inside of your husband or your. We're gonna get to it, but you feel safe inside of your home, right? Let's see. Yeah, keep going.
Not made with hands. That is to say, not of this building.
So, again, this is speaking about the physical tabernacle as opposed to the spiritual, right? So, Mashiach was a more perfect tabernacle, yes? Let's get Psalms chapter 30, and verse 2. Hold that. Get Job chapter 5. And verse 8. Supposed to feel safe, right? Job 5 and 8. Anybody ever seen like a woman on TV, or even if a woman ever said this to you, I feel safe in your arms. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like nothing can hurt me or harm me. My eye laughing, but it's real. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a feeling that we feel with the Most High. When we came into the truth, how many of y'all felt invincible? How many of y'all felt invincible when you came to the truth? Like, man, I can't die. This is... That was the same thing. That's just like your woman saying, I feel safe in your arms. You know what I'm saying? They feel like no harm can come to them because you are that protection. You are that tabernacle. Job 5 and 8. Sorry.
Job 5 and 8, which doeth, I would seek unto El or Elohim, and unto the Elohim would I commit my cause.
So anything you got going wrong, anything, period, you commit your cause to the Most High. This is the first person you run to. Same thing, a wife to a husband. First person they run to is your husband. You know how we be like, when your wife be at work and she come home be like, baby, let me tell you. Da, da, da. How many men get irritated at that? Man, I don't want to hear about that stuff. Hey. I mean, you ain't got to admit it, but we do. You don't want to hear about, man, talking about this every day. But we go to the Most High with the same type of issues. You know what I'm saying? So men, listen. We supposed to. We got to. You know what I'm saying? You are their confidant. They supposed to be able to come and tell you everything. That was one of the problems with myself and my wife. My wife felt like she couldn't tell me stuff because of how I may react to the certain things that she said. I don't want to hear that, man. Why don't you go talk to one of your sisters about that? I don't want to hear that. But that was the wrong thing to do. Keep going.
Which doeth great things and unsearchable, marvelous things, without number, who give rain upon the earth, and sendeth waters upon the fields, to set up on high those that be low.
To be what?
That be low.
Set up on high those that be low. How many of y'all, I mean, again, you don't have to answer this, but how many of y'all going into your marriage may not have had the highest self-esteem in life? You know what I'm saying? Like, you wasn't the quote-unquote cool kid or the, you know what I'm saying? You had some type of self-esteem issue. As a husband, you supposed to pick that up. She's supposed to feel like she's everything. You know what I'm saying? Again, all of this stuff sounds so cliche. You know what I'm saying? But it's real. Hold what you got. Get Deuteronomy 7:6. It's real. And you laughing. Get Ezekiel 16.
I ain't laughing for a different reason.
Oh, okay. No, but get Ezekiel 16.
The faces of some of the sisters. Prices.
What they say?
You see a lot of eyes rolling, a lot of lips pursing.
Oh, man. Why you don't do that for me?
Make me feel good about
7,
myself.
verse 6. In Ezekiel 16 and verse Ezekiel 16:6, huh?
Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
Get Ezekiel 16 and 6 first, and then you're going to read that.
Ezekiel chapter 16 and verse 6. And when I passed by you and saw you polluted in your own blood, I said unto you, when you were in your blood, live, yea.
Go ahead.
Live, yea. I said unto you, when you was in your own blood, live.
So he saw this woman that wasn't held in a high regard. You get what I'm saying? Told her to live. We see that he started to array her with certain things, man, that made her feel that she was that deal to the same people who didn't care for her in the first place. Right? He had to make her feel good about herself. Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6.
Your wife ever tell you, you don't tell me that I'm beautiful. You know what I'm saying? You don't make me feel like that sometimes. Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
Deuteronomy 7 and 6. For you are a Kodesh people.
What he tell him?
You are a Kodesh people.
He told him, you are a Kodesh people. This would have to lift up the ruach of anybody that he's talking to, right? He calling you Kodesh. Read.
For you are a Kodesh people unto Yahuwah your power. Yahuwah your power have chosen you to be a special people unto himself.
Now, how many husbands tell your wife that? Now, it's a negative way to say it, and it's a positive way to say it. I'm going to give you both.
All the time.
I'm going to give you both.
Special.
The po-
It was a joke. It was a joke.
The positive way to say it is, you know, you're the only one that I ever wanted. You're the only one that I've chosen, right? The negative way, hey, you know how many women I could have been with? I'll let you on. How many guilty?
Guilty.
Which one is going to fare over better?
First one.
They both are the same thing. They are. In the grand scheme of things, they both are saying the same thing. But it's the way that you say it that brings upon a different emotion. How many women have you know what I'm saying? You've seen a lot of women in your life. But the one that you chose is the one you married to. So out of all of the women that you could have chosen, you chose your wife. It's the way that you say it. It's the way that you go about it. You know what I'm saying? Finish reading.
Verse 7. Yahuwah did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any people. For you were the fewest of all people.
This is a self-esteem builder to Israel. This is how we reassure that we're not the scum of the earth like everybody make us feel like. You know what I'm saying? B used to say this every time we would hit the streets. Right? This is his opening scripture, his favorite scripture. Because it was the truth. It uplifts you. It makes you feel a different type of way about yourself than what people have put on you. Same thing that a husband is supposed to do for his wife. Right? You are her tabernacle. She's supposed to be able to abide in you safely. Job 5 and 8 again.
Job chapter 5 and verse 8. I would seek unto Yahuwah, and unto Yahuwah would I commit my cause.
Drop down to verse 11.
Verse 11. To set up on high those that be low, that those which mourn may be exalted to safety.
That those which mourn may be exalted to safety. The same thing with the children of Israel. We are in mourning right now. Constant mourning. We're not in our land. We're getting killed left and right. The whole nine. But he got to exalt us and bring us into safety. You feel what I'm saying? Same thing with your woman. Whenever she crying, feeling a certain type of way, even if it got something to do with what you've said or what you've done, you got to make sure you put her back into that calm state. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us, because we're men, we have not unlocked that portion of us. You know what I'm saying? We haven't dove into the emotional side, so to speak. But if Hamashiach is our example, and we can see in places that he did it, would that mean that we got to as well? Men? Okay. Psalms 119, 117.
Psalms 119 and 117. Hold thou me up, and I shall be safe.
What happened?
Hold thou me up, and I shall be safe.
So your woman is not on the bottom of you. You know what I'm saying? Can't treat her like a doormat, right? You got to uphold your woman. You know what I'm saying? You got to acknowledge her feelings, even though we don't like to. Right? You got to acknowledge her feelings. she got to be able to feel safe with you. Now, this is not to say that sometimes that they go off on a tangent and it don't deserve certain attention. You know what I'm saying? You know the difference between when your woman is acting out just to act out and when she really needs you. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Hold thou me up, and I shall be safe, and I will have respect unto thy status.
Yo, what?
I will have respect unto your statuses continuously. Statutes continuously.
Now, when we tell our women to do this or do that, or this is how I want the house ran, or this is how I want this done, you got to make her feel like she's a part of it. This is the only way that she's going to be like, hey, you know, I rock with that. I could deal with it. She going to have respect to your statutes. But you got to hold her up. Got to make her feel important. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way the cookie crumbled. And, I mean, like I say, this is something I've been learning. You know what I'm saying? Shut the fuck up, good grief. Read that again, man. Read that again.
Hold thou me up, and I shall be safe. I will have respect unto your statutes continuously. Thou hast trodden down all them that err from thy statutes, for their deceit is falsehood.
Ephesians 5:25. Go back to Isaiah 40 and 22. 5 and 25.
Ephesians 5 and 1.
25. Read that again. That Isaiah 40. 22.
Isaiah 40 and verse 22. It is he that sits upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretches out the Shamaim as a curtain, and spreads them out as a tent to dwell in.
So Ephesians 5 and 25. He spread out as a tent to dwell in, right? That's safety net, right?
Ephesians 5 and 25. Husbands, love your wives, even as Hamashiach also loved the congregation.
So if he spread a tent or a tabernacle out for the children of Israel, then you have to do that for your woman. Right? How many years did we dwell in the wilderness? 40 years. How much bread did we lack? How much meat did we lack? But is it only about providing food and shelter?
No.
We'll see. Psalms 41 and 10. 41 and 10.
Psalms chapter 41 and verse 10. But you, O Yahuwah, be merciful unto me. Be merciful unto me, and raise me up, that I may requite them.
Get Psalms 86 and 3. Any man feeling uncomfortable? Yeah?
Psalms 86 and 3. Be merciful unto me, O Master, for I cry unto thee daily.
How many?
Daily. Rejoice the soul of thy servant.
So now, how many of y'all women tell y'all on a daily basis you don't spend enough time with me? Or you don't talk to me enough? Or you know, along those lines, how many of y'all women tell y'all that on a consistent basis? What do you do about it?
Talk back.
Every day. She's like, you ain't gonna not talk to me. What do you men do about it? Do you blow it off and say, oh man, that work? Hey, y'all know me. She keep on talking about it. I don't spend no time with her. I don't talk to her, man. I talk to her when I'm at work. Right? How many of y'all actually do something about it when they ask y'all this stuff or say this stuff? Okay? That's like the wrong place to go with it. I used to do that. You don't talk to me enough. Well, talk. It don't work like that. That take away the whole mood of the whole thing. Now ain't nobody got nothing to talk about. You mad because she said that to you. She mad because you telling her to just talk like she just can pull up a conversation out there. Right? Psalms 116 and 5. So 116 and 5.
Psalms 116 and 5. Gracious is Yahuwah and righteous. Yea, our Most High is merciful.
So he said gracious, he merciful, he listens, the whole nine. This is what we got to reflect and do in our households. You know what I'm saying? When she don't make your food like you want her to, don't throw it in the garbage angrily. Man, what is this that you done made me? I didn't ask you like that. You know what I'm saying? When she don't do something in the specific way that you use these things as learning experiences and experiences to teach your woman. You know what I'm saying? You got to have some type of mercy. You got to have some type of grace system set up. You know what I'm saying? In your household. Seriously. Because the way that you treat others is supposed to reflect the way that the Most High do you, right? Especially your spouse. Seeing as though that's the position we play with him. Right? So, if we not showing no mercy or no grace to them, in turn, how is he going to do us? I mean, it's just something to think about. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, a lot of this stuff may sound cliche. Like I took the 501c3, you know. But it's the truth. It's the small things. Again, I'm going to say this again and again and again. The way that you love your spouse, the way that you love your mate, depends on your salvation. It depends on your salvation. Right? You're supposed to leave father and mother and do what? And become one. You know what I'm saying? My wife used to say stuff like, well, you don't want me hollering at you. What you gonna holler at me for? Because I told you not to holler at me. That's why. But I gotta flip the situation. If I don't want her hollering at me, I shouldn't holler at her. Right? I gotta be able to follow my own commandments. Most High do. Right? Let's get John 13:15. Would you? John 13. John 13. You got to be that tabernacle. You got to be that safety.
John chapter 13 and verse 15.
So the men, go ahead.
For I have given you an example that you should do as I have done to you.
So the way that he treat us, we got to treat them. Right? Verse 16.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his master, neither he that is sent greater than he that sent him.
Okay. Get Deuteronomy 2 and 7. We spoke about the wilderness. Concerning booths. We dwelled in these booths for how many years? 40 years, right? Deuteronomy 2:7.
Deuteronomy chapter 2 and verse 7. For Yahuwah thy power hath blessed thee in all the works of your hands. He knoweth thy walkings through this great wilderness.
This what?
This great wilderness.
Yeah.
These 40 years Yahuwah thy power have been with you. Thou hast lacked nothing.
Now, when he says nothing, what do we mean? Nothing. Again, we was just speaking about the food and the shelter and all of that. Was he there for emotional support?
Yes.
How?
You can go to him at any time. His word is in the Bible.
What'd you say? Al?
Say he was dealing out whooping.
He was dealing out whoopings. What else? Mercy, grace.
When he heard him complaining about being hungry, he gave him food.
Deuteronomy chapter 29. Verse 2.
Deuteronomy chapter 29 and verse 2. And Moses called unto all Israel and said unto them, Ye have seen all that Yahuwah did before your eyes in the land of Egypt, unto Pharaoh, and unto all his servants, and unto all his land. The great temptations which thine eyes have seen, the signs, and those great miracles. Yet Yahuwah have not given you a heart to perceive, and eyes to see, and ears to hear unto this day.
So, in the wilderness, he provided us with miracles, signs. He spoke through Moses to tell us certain things. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about your bread. I got you. I'm gonna send you down manna every day. Don't worry about your meat. I got the quails. Don't worry about this. I got you on this. To the point where you didn't even have to think. Like at first, you was a little shaky. You was a little shifty. I don't know if he gonna bring it out there, man. You know what I'm saying? He gave us the manna this one day. Let me go out here on the Shabbat and see if it's out here. I don't really trust him like that. The sad part in marriages is that when there's a divide, there's a trust issue in one place or another. You know what I'm saying? Some of the trust issues lie with the Most High. Not just your spouse. They lie with the Most High. Right? So we got to figure out a way to fix those things together. Yes? Let's keep going. We're getting somewhere. 1 Timothy 5 and 8. He provided for us, right?
First Timothy chapter 5 and verse 8. But if any provide not for his own, especially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith, and it is worse than an infidel.
What is he talking about when he says, if any provide not for his house? He's worse than an infidel. Not teaching them the law. What else? What else? Huh? Doing his duties. Specifically what?
Financial, emotional, spiritual support.
Financial, emotional, and spiritual support. Have anybody had a father or a grandfather who gave them, I mean, you ain't never lacked no food, had somewhere to stay, but you felt so separate from him, like he was just like drill sergeant. You didn't feel no love. You knew he was there. You knew it, but you ain't feel no love for real. Right? Anybody have fathers like that? Right? Mothers, in some cases. It's a divide. No matter if he provide the food and the shelter, you still got to be there to provide emotionally for your 1 Corinthians 13. 1 Corinthians 13 and verse 2. Let's start at verse 2.
1 Corinthians 13 and 2. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains and have not charity, I am nothing.
I am what?
I am nothing.
He said, and have not. What was the thing that he said I have not?
And have not love or charity.
Love. Love is not defined by the things that you provide, food and shelter. It's a part of it, but they are not the underlying thing. Oh, well, I love you because I give you somewhere to stay. I love you because you like something. You got some food in the refrigerator. That's showing my love. It don't work like that. Because if it worked like that, your spouse wouldn't feel the opposite way at times. Just being honest. My Ak here, right? I remember last year we had this conversation. And what did you went out and bought Monica some flowers.
Yeah. Tell her again.
It was a step, right? We know how Kobe is. You know what I'm saying? It was a step.
One for each one.
Right? Was they roses?
Yeah.
They was roses. So they was the expensive kind, right? He got her some flowers. How'd that make you feel, sis? Special, right?
Yeah, I should have got. Yeah, stop instigating. I'm gonna get her the plastic ones next time, so they'll last.
I don't agree with the plastic. But but it made you feel some type of way, right? In a good way. It may have even took away some of those thoughts or feelings of, you know what I'm saying, when you don't like them too much. You know what I'm saying? You can't give everybody. But when you do certain things that will give your spouse an emotional charge, it's beneficial not only to her, but to you as well. When you seen that she was happy about it, how it make you feel? He ain't say nothing. His feelings are secluded to his marriage. He don't want everybody to know. But it make you feel a certain type of way, like, man, that made her happy. You know what I'm saying? That's a good look. I should probably do this more often. Right?
All right, let's focus this on someone else.
But seriously, you know what I'm saying? What's they called in the book? Those are the acts of service. Some acts of services takes away from some of the animosity built up on certain other things that you may lack or what they feel that you lack. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I ain't much. Put your own glass like that, right? Genesis 18:19. We're gonna come back to this though. No, not to him. First Corinthians 13. We're gonna go back to that. Because you gotta provide for your family, or you're gonna be looked at as an infidel. Yeah, I was just about to ask. What's infidel? Anybody know? Unbeliever. What else? It's another word to go in there. Untrustworthy. I don't know what else. But the main thing is an unbeliever, right? Now, if he said if you don't provide for your family, you're an unbeliever, that means that those that are believers see that he provided these things for his people, right? Genesis 18:19.
Genesis chapter 18 and verse 19. For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him.
So he said, I know he going to command his children and his household after them. But what was he commanding them? Whose ways were he commanding them on? The ways of the Most High. Right? Read.
And they shall keep the way of Yahuwah to do justice and judgment, that Yahuwah may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken of him.
So he had confidence that Abraham was going to bestow these things on his children that he learned from the Most High. Right? Ephesians 5 and 29. Start at verse 28. Right, how I said when we was talking about it. Yep. Yeah, like we was talking about earlier. So you see, it's not that he ain't teaching.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Ephesians 5 and 28. Now don't get it twisted. I'm not saying cater to every small, minute. Well, some things may seem minute to us, but it'd be big to them. So, you know, you just gotta meet your spouse in the middle, man. You gotta learn your spouse. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna see. Keep going. I mean, read that. Ephesians 5 and 28.
Ephesians 5 and 28. So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies.
As their what?
As their own bodies.
How many of y'all men like it when your woman do something out of the ordinary for you? Should be everybody, right?
You shouldn't raise your hand, though.
I'm saying if you don't have to if you don't want to. You appreciate that stuff, right? How do it make you feel? Anybody want to give a testimony? Huh? You said warm?
No, I said quiet.
So y'all, no man want to say how they feel when they woman do.
They cried like they did that in movies.
You feel good. You feel special. I mean, we got emotions too, you know what I'm saying?
You got emotions?
It's that 80-20 rule, you know what I'm saying? 80% logic, 20% emotion, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. That's how that works.
How many men feel wanted when they wife do that stuff? That's a big word to say, right? Feel wanted. Do any man feel wanted when their wife do stuff like that? I know it's not only 3 of us. Y'all can raise your hands on this one. Hey, Greg, what about you? He about to fight at home. But it make you feel wanted, right? So, if you flip that and you don't do certain things like that to your woman, how would she feel? Unwanted? You wouldn't? Unappreciated. That's a good one. Unappreciated. Right? So, let's get 1 Peter 3 and 7 right quick. 1 Peter 3 and 7. No, we're going back to 1 Corinthians. 1 Peter 3 and 7. First Peter 3 and 7. Yes. 1 Peter 3 and 7.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 7. Likewise, you husbands, dwell with them according to the knowledge.
According to what?
According to the knowledge.
So you still have to use your knowledge in dwelling with them. You know what I'm saying? Now, women, I know y'all probably can agree. If a man did everything that you told him to do, you would take advantage. Some women take advantage of it. Right? To the point where you the one who cooking and cleaning all the time. You the one who, you know what I'm saying? So you got to be smart when you're dealing with your woman as well. Right? And I'm going to give you an example. Let's get Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. Hold what you got. Leviticus 23 and verse 27. He says, dwell with them according to knowledge. So we always got to put it back to Hamashiach and how he did with the children of Israel, right? How many of us, Leviticus 23:27, how many of us know that the children of Israel, us, have been wicked from the jump? I do. How many of us know that no matter how many times he straightened us, we always go back to the same old crap? I do. But he has mercy. He deals with us according to knowledge. He knows this if we know it. Leviticus 23:27.
Leviticus 23:27. Also on the 10th day of this 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement.
Yeah.
It shall be a Kodesh convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls, and offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. And
So what is this Day of Atonement supposed to represent? We all right? Okay, the Day of Atonement represents what? Cleansing, forgiveness, the whole nine, right? He lets you know on this day, out of all your wickedness that you done, I'm still going to give you a way to start over. Is that not dwelling with the children of Israel according to knowledge? I know that you're going to do some madness throughout the year. Here's a chance for you to start over. Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 15. This is an example of dwelling with your woman according to knowledge. You have to know your woman to know in certain areas she may not meet up to your standard at first. But then you got to realize that maybe it's something that I'm doing that's hindering her from reaching that standard. Isaiah 1 and 15.
Isaiah 1 and 15. And when you spread forth your hands, I will hide mine eyes from you. When you make many prayers, I will not hear. Your hands are full of blood. Wash you, make you clean.
He just gave her a way out. Right there. I ain't trying to hear it. Fix it. Go ahead.
Wash you, make you clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes. Cease to do evil. Learn to do well. Seek judgment.
It says learn to do well, right? If anybody learned something, it's because they had to be taught. How many husbands teach their women? Teach them as a person how you want to be treated. Teach them the law, statutes, and commandments. Teach them how they should act to make everything go together or go well in the home. Right? This is supposed to be a daily thing. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
Learn to do well. Seek judgment. Relieve the oppressed. Judge the fatherless. And carry our sorrows.
But even though we were the wicked ones, he still bore your grief. Read.
Surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of the Most High, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions.
For what?
For our transgressions.
He was wounded because of something we did. Feel what I'm saying? So when you dealing with your woman, you trying to change your ways or whatever have you, and they don't notice it, you got to keep pushing through it. You got to make sure she understands. You got to connect the dots that's missing. Because you are the patriarch. You are the father. You are the husband. You are the leader. You are the guidance. It's your job to do that. Right? It's your job to make sure that she feels safe with you. To dwell in your tabernacle. But it's not a one-man job. Get Ephesians, the 5th chapter and the 24th verse. Ephesians 5 and 24.
Ephesians chapter 5 and verse
22.
22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband, as unto the master.
So if he got to do all of these things, A, B, C, all the way down to Z for you, you best believe you got to meet him with that same type of effort. All that bucking up and acting all crazy and talking crazy, all that arguing, all of those things, being vindictive, all of those things you cannot do. Because if Hamashiach was sitting in your face, would you do it to him? Absolutely not. Men, you have to make sure you take on the image of Hamashiach when you in your household, outside of your household. That way, she won't be compelled to do you that way. But it's still on y'all sisters too. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get emotional. And yes, I mean emotional. I know some of y'all hate that word, but you get emotional. 1 Peter 3 and 7 again. Get that, B. You get emotional and you act out. When you act out, you have to be put in your place. I know that is hard to hear. But when your child acts out, what do you have to do to them? You got to put them back in their place. Right? Because you are an authoritative figure over your children. Your husband is an authoritative figure over you. 1 Peter 3 and 7 again.
1 Peter 3 and 7.
Yeah.
Likewise, you husbands, dwell with them.
Matter of fact, get the verse before.
Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham.
She did what?
Obeyed Abraham.
Uh-huh.
Calling him master.
Doing what?
Calling him master.
Doing what?
Calling him master.
Now, I'm not, that's the book said that. I didn't.
Hold on, one more time.
Calling him master.
That's the book.
Whose daughters you are.
Who's what?
Whose daughters you are.
You're the daughters of Sarah. The way she acted and treated her husband, you got to follow suit. I'm not specifically. Listen, the book said what she called him. I'm not saying, oh, sir, master, sir. But you have to reverence your husband in that type of fashion. This is where the divide comes from. The Western world has taught the woman that she is above the man. The Western world has made you feel as if you run the show, he bring in the dough. You know what I'm saying? We got to change that mentality. Get Proverbs 31. When we spoke about men teaching your wives all of these things, like I pointed out, you still have to be teachable. You have to be coachable. You have to be willing to understand where your husband is coming from, just like he got to be willing to understand where you're coming from. You got to meet each other in the middle. We just had a conversation, right? Up here. I ain't going to say who was up here we was having a conversation with because I don't want to blow up the brother's spot. But we spoke about when a wife feels like the husband don't show her a certain amount of attention or love, right? The thing was, the brother spoke about it and said, well, I might show my love in this way or in that way or in this way or in that way, how I want to show my love, right? Now, that's not technically wrong, but if she has to learn to accept the way that you show your love, then you have to learn to accept how she wants to be showed the love. We in the middle on that? We agree? It's a give and take. Bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. If y'all are one person, one body, if you break a rib, who's going to be hurting? Both of y'all. It's not a good feeling when your wife ain't happy in the home. And it should be vice versa. If your husband ain't happy, it definitely shouldn't be a happy home. So if you both see each other are unhappy, what do you have to do?
Fix it.
Regardless of how your emotions are riling up in you. Oh man, I ain't doing that. My wife want me to paint her toenails to this day. I haven't done it. And right? I don't feel as if that's a masculine thing to do. I don't necessarily. That's just not something that I ever planned on doing in my life to get into. But at one particular point in time, she didn't want to do it for me as well. Not paint my toes, but to, take care of my feet. Wash them, you know what I'm saying? Put some lotion on the joints. Massage my feet. She didn't want to do it at all. She was like, I despise feet. I'm not doing it. I don't care who you are. I said, well, if it was Hamashiach, would you do it for him? She kind of hesitated. But she said, yeah. And I said, why? She said, because that's Hamashiach. I mean, it's real, right? And we see that you're supposed to reverence your husband as the congregation reverences Hamashiach, so that would mean I'm in his place. Took her a minute. She saw a video and saw a woman doing it for her husband and said, you know what? If somebody else can do it for their husband, I can do it for mine. Right? Now, I'm not saying I'm going to paint no toes. But what I'm saying is I have to take into consideration how she feels about a certain thing. Feel what I'm saying? Now, again, she might lose the desire for that to happen.
What if she don't?
We cross that bridge when we get there. But let's just be real. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. Hold up. Let's get Corinthians chapter 7.
First, or
I think it's first. First Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 3.
what you say? I'm sorry.
First Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 3.
First Corinthians.
I was off of the man's head, but since y'all want to come at me, you know what I'm saying, with the laughing and whatnot.
We laughing with you. We ain't laughing.
That's right. First Corinthians 7 and 3.
First Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 3. Let the husbands render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. For the wife have not power of her own body, but not the husband, and likewise also the husband have not power of his own body, but the wife.
So it's vice versa, right? If I say, woman, I want a massage on my back, what she got to do?
Massage your back.
Why?
Because you told her to.
Because you asked her.
Exactly. She don't have power over her body. If she asks me to give her a massage on her back, what do I have to do?
Paint the toenails.
How do y'all jump to that from the side? Just asking.
They both said it.
Paint the toenails.
Paint the toenails.
Leave my life.
Yeah, that's wicked.
I will leave safe from that one.
Say what that was.
That's wicked.
I will draw a conclusion with this scripture here. You have answered your dilemma. You got to paint some toenails. And I would enjoy it if he's gonna do it. Enjoy it too.
I'm gonna use some regular paint.
Isn't that been spiteful?
Huh?
Isn't that been
She
spiteful?
said paint. She didn't say what type.
Oh, she got her own, I'm sure.
Bottom line is, we can't use this scripture to our advantage. And then, when it's flipped, we try to take away from it. You feel what I'm saying?
Good way to show that example.
I'm in agreement with you all. What I'm saying is, we all got to learn to be uncomfortable. Flat out. Being in this truth. Is it comfortable? Y'all comfortable? Yeah. Every time something pop up, you got to be able to change it. If you see a law that you like, oh man, I don't. You got to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to get comfortable, but initially it's not. You know what I'm saying? So, in order for you to get comfortable with keeping the commandments, keeping the Shabbat, not buying and selling on the Shabbat, you have to do it over and over and over and over to say, it's just natural for me. Right? So, men, you have to give them, you have to do certain things that they require on certain occasions. Huh? Yeah. Now, it's not, listen, we're not going to get into, this is what we're not going to do, right? We're not going to be to the point where every time you tell your husband to do something, then he got to do it. We're not going to get there. Because you will take advantage of it. That's period.
Go both ways?
Do that go both ways? No, that don't go both ways. Because we got to deal as Hamashiach to the congregation and the congregation to Hamashiach.
Hamashiach gave us a choice.
Did he oblige everyone and everything that they wanted?
No, but he gave us a choice.
As long as they wasn't.
Hold on. Did he oblige everything that was asked of him?
He answered every question.
Did he do everything that somebody, if somebody may have prayed in the book and said, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. Was it always answered?
Yes. Yes.
Just not the way they want it.
Because no is an answer.
Hold on. Just hold it. Listen to what I'm saying. When the king wanted to go and grab those 400 men, right? Say, hey, tell me if I'm going to be able to go over here, I'm going to win, and I'm going to do this and that, right? What did those prophets tell him? No. The prophets told him to go. Right? Told him to go. This is wholeheartedly what he wanted. This is wholeheartedly what he wanted for the Most High to have for him. Right? But did he get granted that thing?
No.
But do we have to do those things that he say do? Now, don't look, brothers, don't get it twisted like, you know what I'm saying, you can just ask your woman just all type of outrageous stuff and it just got to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you got to meet each other in the middle. You know what I'm saying? We can't be unrealistic.
So it does go both ways.
No.
Okay, now. What you just said don't match up. Come on now.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase it. No. It don't go both ways. What I mean is this. Let's just say I paint my wife toenails, right? Then 5 minutes later she say, paint my fingernail. 5 minutes later she say, take me to opera. 5 minutes later she say, take me to the swing set. Then she say, let's go here, let's go there. Do I have to oblige her in every single thing that she asks?
No.
Why?
To reason.
Because it's not reasonable. Right?
So that goes both ways.
So with the husband having the mind of Hamashiach, will you ask your wife to do things that are unreasonable?
Yes.
You will? Give me an example.
the mind of Mashiach. We're the premise.
Yeah, with the mind of Mashiach. But reason is subject to her perception.
True. Okay, go ahead. Give me an example.
For example, painting of the toenails. You feel like that is unreasonable.
I never said that.
The way you emotionally expressed it says you feel like it is unreasonable.
But I never said that it was. I said, give me an example of the man saying something unreasonable to his woman with the mind of Mashiach.
Well, let me wash your feet. If she don't want you to wash her feet, that is unreasonable. Him asking her, let me wash your feet. If she doesn't want it to happen, it is unreasonable to her.
Pretty much anything that she disagrees with is unreasonable.
That's not true. Anything that she don't agree with is not unreasonable.
Yeah, that's what
Washing your feet is in the book, yes?
I'm saying
That's not unreasonable.
from what the Ox saying. He's saying reason is subject to the person you reasoning with.
According to the book, is that unreasonable?
No, it's
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. With the mind of Hamashiach, this is what the premise is. This is the focus. With his mind, give me something that could be unreasonable that you tell your wife to do.
With the mind of Hamashiach, he gave a lot of unreasonable things to a whole lot of nations because they didn't want to comply with what he was asking them to
Give
do.
me an example.
Walk upright.
How was that unreasonable?
To that nation that don't want to walk upright, it is
With
unreasonable.
his
Basically,
mindset.
what I'm saying is,
Go ahead.
anything that someone disagrees with would be unreasonable to them,
I didn't say
even
unreasonable.
if it's coming in righteousness.
I didn't say unreasonable to them. Hear me out.
What you're asking is only subject
To who?
to the person you're asking it of.
To Hamashiach. You know what I'm saying? If I told somebody, you have to quit your job because you work on the Sabbath, who is that unreasonable to?
If it's a non-believer, it's going to be unreasonable to them.
Is it unreasonable? Hold on. Is it unreasonable with the mind of Hamashiach?
That's
For
the part
me,
y'all keep
having the
missing.
mind of Mashiach, no, it wouldn't be unreasonable to
It's
me.
not unreasonable with his mind. This is who we have to follow regardless. All of us. You feel what I'm saying? So with his mindset, if we go into this thing as matter of fact, let's get Psalms. Hold on. Get Psalms chapter 6. Hold on, let me see. Let me see if this is it. Yeah.
And you say, like you said, woman, wash my feet, lotion them, and massage them. That may be, now, Jews in the Bible, they wash their feet, they massage them and put lotion on them, and if that demand may be unreasonable. Said she didn't want to do it. But then you broke out and went Bible on her and said, well, what about if this was the Mashiach? And then you know, played on her, how she, you know, her beliefs and things, and then she did it, and she didn't want to do it.
So, when we looking at Hamashiach and who was that washed his feet?
Mary.
Specifically. The woman. Who was she?
Mary.
Mary.
How did she wash his feet?
Her hair.
With her hair. And what else?
Her tears.
Her tears. Right? Now, to any woman, if I say cry on my feet and wash them, that would be unreasonable. Yes? When you generally wash yourself, or even if you bathe, you know what I'm saying, once you get out of the shower, what do you do with yourself? Dry it, you put lotion on, the whole nine. You said put some socks on and go to bed, right? I don't feel like that would be unreasonable. It's in the book. You get what I'm saying? Matter of fact, let's go to Proverbs 31. This is what we'll do. Let's go to Proverbs 31. I've been on my brother say it a lot.
What was our day? It's
Huh?
okay. It's our day. It's okay.
Yeah. Proverbs 31. You know how to start, right? 31 and verse 10.
Proverbs 31 and 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies.
Hold what you got. What does this tell anybody about any woman? Now again, we've dealt with the tabernacle of the man, right? Now, according to this Proverbs 31, your husband's heart has to dwell safely in you. He has to be able to trust in you, right? So this presents another tabernacle, right? For something to dwell inside of you, right? Same thing with your children, right? But he says that who can find a virtuous woman, for her price is far above rubies. How many people see rubies on people all the time? How many of you have saw a ruby before in person? How do it look? Deep red. Beautiful. It's beautiful, right? It's like, it's almost like something you've never seen before. It's something that's like, oh. If he says, who can find a virtuous woman, for her price is far above rubies, that means that in real life, every woman is not a virtuous woman. In real life, because you're a wife, does not make you virtuous. In real life, just going back to the husband for a second, just because you're a husband don't make you Hamashiach. Go both ways, right? So, let's keep reading. Verse 11.
Verse 11. The heart of her husband do safely trust in her.
Now, a husband safely trusting in his wife is something major. The nature of a man is not to trust anybody until they show themselves able to be trustworthy. You know what I'm saying? So, for the heart of your husband to safely trust in you, that means that you have to show things that would, you know, make this happen. You have to do certain things that would make this happen. It don't just happen overnight. It don't just pop up. Oh yeah, I trust you. I'm going to give you an example. Keep reading.
Verse 12. Verse 11. The heart of her husband do safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil.
Drop down to verse 16. I'm going to give you an example.
Verse 16. She considereth a field, and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planted a vineyard.
How many husbands right now trust your woman to go out without your judgment to buy a house? Why? Why? She good with money. Okay. Good with money, right? Why not? Those that don't. I mean, it's real talk. Why not? They haven't been trained on how to do it correctly?
Because the house is for the both of you, and both of your input should be in it, not just one.
Read that again.
Verse 16. She considereth a field, and buyeth it.
She consider a field, consult her husband and buy it.
She considereth a field, and buyeth it.
Her heart, the husband's heart, safely trust in this woman. So when she go out and consider a field and buy it, it's because she already got his mind in hers. If you don't trust your woman to that extent, something needs to happen. Something needs to change. If it's on the woman's side, you need to do those things that would make him trust in you. Honestly, your body, your ruach is a tabernacle for your husband's heart and trust to dwell. Your husband got to feel safe with you as well. You know what I'm saying? Your husband got to be able to come and tell you anything as well. How many women husbands come home and tell them everything that they don't went through or whatever? How many husbands go and tell they women everything when they get home? Tell them their problems and all of these things, right? Why? Women, why don't they? Because they scared of how you gonna react. What else? What else? You forgot about it? Nobody else? You gotta.
I want to trouble her about it. Might be something, you know what I'm saying? Might be something you feel you can handle yourself. You know, there's no need to bother her.
Well, generally, I would think a man is looking for answers, and a woman is looking for conversation. So the two don't go hand in hand. So if I'm coming home looking for answers that she's not going to really give me, but it's not what direction she's thinking of it from, you wouldn't come home and trouble her with your worries.
Why?
You might tell her about them, but if you're looking for answers that she's not giving, it's like,
Why wouldn't she give those answers?
it's not in her nature.
Why?
She's a woman.
Go back up to verse 11.
Verse 11. The heart of her husband do safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil.
Spoil is what? Ruin. Your heart is another word for what?
Mind.
The mind. If you don't trust your woman with your thought process, your mind, your everything, right? Why would you go and tell her something?
Now that's different than coming home and talking to her.
What's the difference?
I can trust her with my heart and with my mind. But in my day-to-day business,
But you don't trust her with the output that she would give you from.
well, first you got to know your woman.
That's what we get into.
And if you know your woman's not giving you day-to-day direction, have no desire to give you day-to-day direction, you wouldn't bring your troubles home to her. Because then that basically would give her the worries that you have, and she has no answers for you. So that's going to compound your worries. Because now your wife on your head.
Why wouldn't she have the answers?
Why would she not have the answers?
Why would she? What stops your wife from being your confidant?
Nothing stops my wife from being my confidant. She is my confidant.
All men?
There's a difference in what
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That don't go across the board. Speaking to her and being confident in her is not the same.
Is your wife your confidant? Not you. I heard you. Anybody else? Is your wife your confidant? Yes. If not, there's an issue. Don't have to be on the man's side. Could be on the side of the woman. Right? When you dealing with speaking certain things to your woman, and you feel like, oh, she gonna react like this. She gonna react like that. You know what I'm saying? She gonna blow up on me if I say this. That's a problem that needs to be fixed with your wife. This is why it's hard to find a virtuous woman. All of these things, dealing with a virtuous woman, you have to have. Y'all agree? Women? If your husband don't feel comfortable confiding in you certain things because of the way that you may react, you have to fix that.
Some men are prideful, have a huge ego, and don't want a woman to turn up. You know, you can't tell me I'm a man. They may offer some sound advice, but because they didn't get it, they might not accept it.
That's a problem.
Yeah, it's a problem for men for that.
Well, hey, y'all need to chill out back there. I don't want to hear another word. He said some men are prideful and they don't want to.
Yeah, they just, I'm the man, you tell me what to do. And then sometimes, okay, just say if the woman gave some sound advice, the man wouldn't do whatever he wanted to do, and it backfired, like she may have spoken. It happens stuff like that. Like it happens. And then, no, he's not going to come tell her that it backfired, because then it's going to be like, well, I told you. They don't want to hear I told you so. Or, they ego, they pride, they get smashed because you told them to do something different, but they're going to do it their way anyway.
Whose problem is that? It's the man's.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is the thing. The pride is the initial problem. If a man is too prideful to tell his woman something, you got to deal with that. But if it's not the pride, you get what I'm saying? Then the woman has to fix that. You get what I'm saying? And you can't be to the point where you gonna rain down on your husband's head with certain advice. You know what I'm saying? You know how some women get to that point where they like, oh man, you need to do it like this. I don't care what you say, you need to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's not the way that you convey that. You know what I'm saying?
Like the sister is saying. But like what she mentioned, if a woman or a wife advises her husband to do something a certain type of way, and he does it opposite, and it backfires, and then he comes and he's, sharing that situation, and her reaction is, well, I told you so, then that would automatically make him reluctant to share anything else, regardless of how he gonna do it, because everybody have their own ideas, and your thought process on the situation may be one thing, and his thought process may be another thing, and he thinks that everybody think that their idea is the best. I don't care who you are. If you have an idea, you automatically think your idea is the best. Otherwise, you kind of suffering from that, what you was talking about earlier, like a self-esteem type of deal. But most people believe when they have an idea that their idea is the best idea. So of course a man is going to do what he feels is best, and if it backfires and his woman's reaction is to be like, well, I told you, nobody wants, I don't care who it is, everybody in this room, nobody want to hear I told you so. Nobody. So it make you not want to have that type of conversation anymore.
Absolutely.
So it's it's multiple reasons as to why husbands and wives don't confide in each other because I think that most men, I'm sorry, I don't mean to step all on your toe. No. I think that most men, in my opinion, think differently than women. From a standpoint of it's more logical than emotional. I think that most women think about situations from an emotional standpoint, and most men think about situations from a logic standpoint and disregard the emotion. So you got apples and oranges, both fruit, but completely different in nature.
Yeah. You got to find a way to bring that together, though. You know what I'm saying? A man shouldn't only think logical without emotion, and a woman shouldn't only have emotions on her mind and throw out logic. You know what I'm saying? The whole point of it is it has to be brought together. Mm-hmm. It has to be a situation to where everybody is moving in a cohesive fashion. You know what I'm saying? I piggyback off you, you piggyback off me. Just like if you disciplining your child and the mama say, oh man, don't do that to him. You know, leave him alone. And then the father say, no, I need to whoop his butt. That shows a divide right there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. A divide to the child and also a divide with the parents. Because you're going to sit back and you're going to say after the baby get the whooping, because the daddy going to whoop him. You know? Well, why did you undermine my authority? Mm-hmm. Why would you say that he would, you know what I'm saying? This is where you need to meet in the middle. This is where your minds need to connect. This is where men got to set their pride aside, and women do too. This is where you got to say, I trust in you, and vice versa. You got to be able to trust your woman. Women, you got to be able to trust your man. Flat out. Everybody has to give and take in a relationship in order for it to be all under the umbrella of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Salvation depends on how you deal with your mate. Salvation for men depends on how you run your tabernacle. How you run your household, your salvation depends on. You know what I'm saying? If you run it with a loose hand to where you letting your wife run all over you and things go wrong, you got to deal with that. Women, we was just speaking about this the other day. Women like the fact that they following their husband, but want to point them in which way to go. You know what I'm saying? I'm following you, but take me over here on the west side. Take me to the east side. I'm behind you though. It don't work like that. You have to give your husband the opportunity to lead and you follow. Feel what I'm saying?
And give him the room to make a mistake.
Say that again.
Give him the room to make a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. And your job as a wife is not to point out the mistake, or like when you training a dog to be when you housebreaking a dog, is not to rub his nose in it so he don't make it again. It's to be supportive even in the mistake, so that he's not afraid to make a mistake. You know what I'm saying? And he's not afraid to share that he done made a mistake. Because sometimes when you make a mistake and then a person just want to rub your nose in it, no, that's not the way you do it. So that makes you reluctant to even share, or it make you, it's kind of on the same page. So, you got to give everybody room to mess up and let them know that it's okay. It's okay to mess up. It's okay to make a bad decision. It's okay, but don't continuously make bad decisions.
Right,
you know what I mean? You learn from each and every situation, learn from every decision that you make. That if it turns out to be a bad situation, then let's do something different next time. But just be supportive enough so that they feel comfortable with sharing and it's all that emotional stuff.
It's about bringing it all together, man. That's it. Don't allow your situation. Matter of fact, let's go to Genesis. We're going to close out after this point. Let's go to Genesis chapter 3. Oh, yeah. Genesis chapter 3 and verse 1. Matter of fact, get 2 and 16 first.
Genesis chapter 2 and verse 16. And Yahuwah power commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it.
It's the last point I want to make before we close out. Hold on. When it comes to our women, we can't allow certain things from the outside that you take in and change your perspective on what things need to be done, right? Like social media, for an example. You know what I'm saying? When you get on social media and somebody may say something that sounds good to you, but it goes against what your husband spoke about. So you start to internalize that. When you internalize it, you start to want to react on it, and then things go south. Right? How many of y'all been on Facebook and seen like a meme or something that say, well, if your husband really loved you, he would do this. Right? Right. And some women will take that because it may be something that they felt one way or another, internalize it, and try to put that on their husband. Feel what I'm saying? That outside information, that outside voice, that'll mess stuff up in an instant. So the Most High right here told the man not to eat from the tree. Right? Keep reading.
But of the tree of knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die.
Verse 18.
And Yahuwah power said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him. And out of the ground Yahuwah power formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof.
Verse 21.
Verse 21. And Yahuwah power caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which Yahuwah power had taken from a man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, This is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man.
So, Adam would then lay down the commandment for her. Yes? Eat from every tree except for this one. You know what I'm saying? And what happened? Did she not follow? Was there anything in the book to show Eve was disobedient in the things that Adam gave initially? No. There's nothing to show that, right? Genesis 3:1. She was following him. She was listening to him the whole night. Genesis 3:1.
Genesis chapter 3 and verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahuwah power had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath the Most High said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. But of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, he said, Don't eat of it.
All it took was an outside influence for her to go against what her husband said. If she would have asked her husband, well, you know, my man says such and such, such and such, you know, can we do that? What Adam would have told her? No. But she took it upon herself to take the outside information, do it, and cause an uproar. Right? When it comes to things that your husband say, do not go and search for what you want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Don't go and look for what you want to hear about it. Don't allow somebody from the outside to disrupt what you got going on in your house. And I'm saying this to the women because we deal with a lot of emotion with the women. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that men won't do it, but it would be harder for a man to do it than for a woman. Books say she's the weaker vessel, right? Say it for a reason. It's not that you weak, that you can't do certain. It's not saying that. But because a woman deals with emotion a lot, she would allow things to come in that don't need to be there. Right? For example, my wife used to do this stuff all the time. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, this say this, so why don't you? Because that ain't what you ain't even thought about that before this. You know what I'm saying? Don't allow these outside sources to come and mess something up. When you having problems with your spouse, we spoke about this earlier. Don't call your homegirl that ain't got no husband.
Say it one more time.
Don't call your homegirl that ain't got a husband.
She got a Facebook ministry.
She got a Facebook. Don't do it. It makes no sense.
Facebook ministry. Wow.
You're going to make yourself, listen, you're going to ask for advice from somebody that's not in your situation. And because it sounds good, you internalize it, and this is what you push out of your own person. Don't do it. It's not smart. Like, you know, you married, you going through problems with your husband, you call your cousin Felicia. She done been divorced 8 times, done been with 12 dudes. You know what I'm saying? Girl, I wouldn't take that if I was you. I'll leave that Negro right now. There's plenty of other men out here. But you've been married 8 times. You get what I'm saying? You can't take that advice. You gotta always check the source. Check where it's coming from. That's important. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall surely die. Ye shall not surely die. For the Most High do know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired, to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat.
Husband say, hey, baby, I want you to cook me. I want to have a meal cooked and on the table when I come home from work. All right? Call your home girl. Man, this Negro say he want me to have some food for him when he get out of work every day. Oh, girl, you ain't got to do that. It ain't like he going to leave you or nothing. All it took was for her to say it ain't like he was going to leave you or nothing. And now you like, man, I don't feel like cooking him nothing today. Then when he get home and he mad, you like, what? Didn't you eat last night? Let's get the leftovers. Right? That's all it takes. And that starts a divide. You know what I'm saying? Something small like that could start a divide. So just like this right here, Adam done told her, hey man, listen, Most High done let me know when you're supposed to do A, B, C, and D. And she went off and did it. You know what I'm saying? Caused a divide because of something she allowed on the outside. Now, the book tell you that a wise person is going to seek wise counsel. So don't go to the people that you know is not in your situation, or you do not, or is not deemed as wise counsel, to get advice. Wouldn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? You read.
And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons.
So now we know that because Eve was tricked into doing it, well, not necessarily tricked, but because she did it, her husband had certain desires of his own in his mind that he did it as well. But if it wasn't for his wife hearing this, taking this in, would he have done it? Would it have even been in his mind to do it?
It's a good question.
Think so?
He took it and ate it. Right, he was there. He was present.
He was trying to show her
it and ate
benevolence.
it. Huh?
He was trying to show her benevolence.
I'll give you an example. If, just using this as an example, right? Who would ever think in their mind to say that the world was flat? Flat. Would anything make you go and research that the world is flat? You're not even thinking about this in your mind. Why? Because you've been taught one way. That's it. That's the only thing you're thinking about. It's not that you don't necessarily, that if you did the research you wouldn't believe it. But because this haven't been taught to you, there's nothing in the world that would make you go and research it. But when somebody says something about it, what does it do? It makes you curious. Adam, not thinking about this, his wife comes to him like, man, my man said that we can do this, this, that, and the third, boom, boom, boom. Adam probably, oh man, we could? You ate it already? Give me a piece. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that he fought her when it was time to eat from the tree. What I'm saying is her curiosity was raised by what the serpent said. Same thing with Adam. You know what I'm saying? So just watch the outside sources that you use. Men too. Watch the outside sources that you use for your marriage. Agree upon people that you're supposed to come to with your problems. That way you know it ain't coming from left field. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, we got to make sure we have a cohesive unit. We got to make sure that we're working together to make a perfect tabernacle. Agreed? We're going to pick this up again. I'll have some more answers for y'all. I got another little piece to it, but we get back on it. Questions? Concerns? Comments?
I got a few.
All right.